Hi, I'm Steve Graybosch, and this is my wife Priscilla. And we've been asked to kind of share our story a little bit. And for me, the story of where we are right now started when I was in Texas. I moved down to Dallas, Texas in 1988 to go to Bible school. And while I was there, I became involved in an outreach ministry that was based in a warehouse district outside of downtown Dallas, Texas. And it was a small warehouse that was being used for ministry in kind of a different realm. It wasn't a traditional church, so to speak. It was, to me, what felt like a modern-day example of the book of Acts and how the early disciples met together and lived together and communed together. It was a community of believers that prayed together, served meals together, evangelized together, and it was all based out of this little warehouse area. They had Christian concerts and arts and all sorts of different things happening there. So then that also kind of became part of my passion, that wouldn't it be wonderful to have a large facility that several small like-minded ministries that could potentially capitalize on joining resources, rather than 20 churches in a 3-mile radius, each having a little food pantry and, well, we're open this day because that's the only day a volunteer could come, and have a few clothes here and a few diapers, and then people are walking around trying to, where can I get some services, and to maybe come together and capitalize on one electric bill, one phone bill, one maybe media center that could be shared by several of these small ministries, and then have a facility that could be done nice to provide a place for people in the community to see something that would maybe provide some hope. So I was working at US Bank and pursuing these ministry efforts on the side, and it's comfortable because the bills were always paid. For the last 10 years or so, I never had to worry about any financial issues. I had a good paying job, but I constantly felt like my heart was being drawn here to the inner city to make an impact. I felt like God's calling was on my life to do that, and was just not sure how that was going to come about.
Yeah, we had just gotten married in June of this past year, and we actually got married at All Saints Church, which is where we started our first meal program. And we each have 4 kids, so we have eight kids together, and we're kind of crowded in the house. I work part-time at Life Church, and with Steve's job at US Bank, he was carrying all the finances pretty much, but I felt like it was really important to support the ministry because I knew when we met that he was planning on going full-time into ministry, and I really wanted to back him as much as possible and support him in his vision, because he has this broad vision. It's just like I see the neighborhoods down here, and I realize that it's a necessary thing that needs to happen in this area. So basically, we found this building like a year and a half ago, and we've made contact with the owners, found out that they're Christians too, and they want to sell it to us land contract, and we've just had all of these miracles kind of fall into place over the last few months.
The vision for the project, we call this project Adullam, and Adullam is coming from the Old Testament when David had to flee, when he was being pursued, and he was down and out. He was running for his life, and he found this cave of Adullam, and he found refuge in that cave. And while he was in there, because God had anointed him and called him, and it says in the scriptures that people that were dissatisfied with their government and with their society, criminals, people that were poor, the disgruntled, the downcast, the outcasts of society, gathered around him and came, and this was this place of refuge, and that's what we see this as a place that will be a spiritual oasis, a refuge, like a greenhouse, almost a birthing center, of spiritual health for both Christians and non-Christians. We hope to bring in the lost and present the gospel and present an alternative way of life that will hopefully bring recovery and deliverance and freedom and true life.